Oh, come on. Come on, you piece of junk. Come on, start. Not again. Oh, let's see if the radio still works. Yeah, well. Yeah, there's... Oh, that show Motor Mouse is on.
Well, and good morning, and welcome to your Motor Mouth Show, your SLO County Car Talk show featuring Mr. Stop and Mr. Go. This is Jeff Spevack, Continental Motor Works, known as Mr. Go, for the next hour or so, and sitting next to me, Mr. Stop, raring to talk.
Well, of course I'm ready to talk. That's what this show is all about. Talk. And, well, that's not only for us to talk.
Yeah.
Usually we have to listen once in a while and rest our jaws.
Yes. So we are a live call-in car talk show.
Right.
Talk show about cars. And the way that works is we invite you to call us at 543-8830. That's 543-8830. So we talk about car tips, car stories, car problems, warning lights on, funny noises, funny smells. If you're not sure about your car, you're not sure whether to keep it or sell it, we can put you on the Motor Mouth couch. If you're having a relationship issue that relates to your car, we'd love to hear about it. If you have a pet peeve about other drivers on the road. So you can call us at 543-8830. And so to invite you and entice you to call us early in the show, which is what we would like, I'm going to put out a couple questions that I would like to see what people think about that. So what are the top 3 traffic citations that are given by the highway patrol or the police? The top 3 traffic citations, or what is the difference between a traffic infraction, or what is the difference between a traffic violation and a misdemeanor? When does it become a misdemeanor? So call us, 543-8830, and weigh in on these questions. Doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. Just call in and talk to us about it, and we'll bring it up. 543-8830. What are the 3 top traffic citations or violations? And then what's the difference between a traffic violation and a misdemeanor as far as driving goes? So,
well, that could have something to do with, I won't tell, but my thoughts are, I can talk about that later.
Okay, we will.
Yeah,
we will.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the other thing, while we're hopefully people will call in 543-8830. Love to hear from you early. This show is so much more interesting when you call us. So I looked up the best way to buy a used car, or the best time to buy a used car,
that's
and saving the most money, is right at the 1 to 2 year mark.
Okay, what's your name?
So
1 to 2 years.
Yeah, so the car depreciates the most.
Yes, the first year.
In the first year and to the second year. And then it slows down a lot. So it's like 25% savings from within 2 years, which is quite a bit.
That's quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a lot. So you save, like, let's say on a $30,000 car, you save almost $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Hey, let's talk to Brad in Napomo. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Hey, I think I have answers to your questions, and then I had a question for you.
Okay, good. Go ahead. You're on.
I think the top 3 would be speed, driving under the influence, and unsafe lane changing, things of that nature.
Okay, that's very good. So speeding is number 1. Unsafe lane changes is number 3.
Okay. Driving under the influence.
Driving under the influence. Now you get into my second question, which was, what's the difference between a traffic violation and a misdemeanor?
Okay, well, I would think that a burned-out taillight or a missing front license plate, something of that nature, would be an infraction, or what we would used to call a fix-it ticket, which is now a very expensive fix-it ticket.
Right.
And then the other would be something that you've actually broken a misdemeanor, a vehicle code that would be a misdemeanor, such as driving under the influence or something that you actually have to post a bail for. Yes,
so very good, Brad. So you got the first of the top 3 traffic violations is speeding, and the third is unsafe lane changes.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the second yet because I want other people to call in.
Okay.
And then yes, one of the differences between a traffic citation and a misdemeanor is driving under the influence becomes a crime. Yes. So that's actually not just a citation, it's a crime. So I'll leave that open. Now let's go ahead and work into what question do you have for us?
So my son drives a 2002 Volkswagen Jetta TDI. Got about 215,000 miles on it. Reliable little car. I mean, I try to steal it whenever I can. But he's going away to college. He was looking at Sonoma, and he was looking at Channel Islands. I was a little hesitant sending him to Sonoma with that vehicle, with that many miles. It was just a long way should there be an issue. I still feel pretty comfortable with that car going down to Channel Islands. I don't know, maybe it's because it's a 2-hour jaunt south rather than a 6-hour jaunt north. What should I be looking for? It's an automatic transmission, which I know is a weak link in that vehicle, but I mean, it gets its oil changes. It gets a very good. He's very in tune to listening for strange noises and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Anything else, just off the top of your head, I should be looking into on that?
How many miles are on it?
About 215.
Okay,
a 2003 automatic 1.9 TDI.
Okay, so I think if this car is, and do you service this car yourself, or do you take it into a shop for service?
No, it goes into a shop.
Okay, and do you feel confident about that where you take it?
I do. He does all my diesel work on my 99 F-250 with 400,000 miles on it. So I know he knows diesel. I know he's fairly comfortable with the German. I know he's had questions on some things that he has talked to other mechanics that are more into the Germans than he is, and I've in fact taken it over to some of them. I just trust the guy. I mean, he's
good.
He's never sold me a bill of goods.
And is there anything that TDI needs? Is there anything that he's given you? Okay, this vehicle needs this either now or at some time that you haven't done yet. No, I mean, with timing chains and stuff, we're up to date. I mean, I'm just wondering. Everybody says that car is going to run a good 500,000 miles. Be that I don't want him to be on the road at 495 or at 502 when it decides to die. I just, if there's anything that you guys have seen come in the shop, I'll be sure to look for X, Y, or Z. And you both really like that vehicle, and he would be happy taking it with him. Oh, he'd be very happy taking it with him. I know he's an old soul. He likes 1980s vehicles, and his first car was a Mazda 3 with 40,000 miles on it. That was about 2 years ago. It was an amazing car, but he likes those 80s. I try to get him into the 70s or drive something newer, just because I look at 80s as being such a changeover of vehicals in body style and going to K-car and everything else, unibody. So I know there was a lot of misinformation during that time, but I look at a car today as much different than a car that we drove in the 70s. So
here's my suggestion.
Yes,
talk to your mechanic that you go to right now and find out if he has any friends or he knows of any shops in the area where your son is going to go. Then, if he doesn't have that, you look up on the computer under ASCCA. That's the Automotive Service Council of California. Those are independent garage owners and does excellent work. And they are members of this organization all over California. And they are everywhere, but they do good work. I've already
secured that. I feel very comfortable. I asked my mechanic, I said, would you send your son to school in Channel Islands in this vehicle? And he said, absolutely. So, I mean, I think I'm doing everything I can. Plus, being, we're talking, just Ventura. I mean, I can hook the tandem up and drive down and pick his car up if it's an issue. I can do that in an afternoon. Yeah. So I'm comfortable with it. I just was wondering if, I would love to hear you guys not just come out and say something like, "Oh my God, that TDI had an XYZ." Then I'm gonna feel bad because you've shown me something I don't know about. But I think I've researched the vehicle pretty well, and I'm pretty comfortable. I like dotting my I's and crossing my T's.
My opinion is that if this car has been taken care of properly, and I'm assuming that he's taken it on a few trips already, so it's trip-worthy and it's done well. Mm-hmm. And you both like the vehicle, then I would just have him take it. Just give it your seal of approval. If your mechanic says, yeah, this vehicle can go anywhere, I've got it up to date on everything, and it doesn't have any weak points that I can see, then go for it. Just go for it with confidence. What I would get, though, is I would get AAA Plus.
Got it.
So, in other words, if you're a AAA member, upgrade it to AAA Plus, which gives you a 100-mile tow.
Yeah. Being down in Ventura gives you a 100-mile tow, but, for that matter, I'll throw the trailer on the back of the truck, go down and bring it back up here and have the guy work on it. I'm as comfortable as I can be. I can't, I can micromanage the thing to death. As long as I am confident if he were to have issues, he's only 2 hours away. It's not a deal breaker to go pick it up. Up in Sonoma, I don't think I want to drive all the way up there to drag it all the way back.
That's why you get AAA Plus. And I don't think if that car's in good shape, I don't think you're going to have to do that. So the things that we always talk about on the show are the things that I'm going to hit upon just to make sure that you know that they've gotten done. You might want to write these down. So make sure that within the last 60,000 miles that all the fluids have been changed. The coolant, the transmission fluid, the brake fluid, the power steering fluid. And that, I'm sure he's inspecting brakes and belts and suspension and steering and
hoses.
So the other thing that might have gotten missed is what Matt just said, is the coolant hoses. If they're original, then I would replace those. So probably the things that we see people miss are fluids like trans fluid, coolant, brake fluid, power steering fluid, and hoses. Belts usually get taken care of. So, make sure.
I think, and those are all good things to say. And I've had all the fluids exchanged. People don't understand, why do I need to change the brake fluid in my car? I mean, it's my brakes still work. Well, you have to understand that those things, they do break down. I think the brake fluid collect water, I think. So, you get water in your line and you have no brakes anymore. Yeah. So, you got to change all the fluids because they're not meant for 1,000,000 miles, and it's a very inexpensive way to prolong the life of your car, as far as I'm concerned.
Make sure it's got the best. Make sure it's got the best tires on it, and send it on its way.
And a good battery.
And stop saying I'll go pick it up on the trailer, because the car hears that. And so it hears your doubt. Don't say that anymore.
Yeah. No.
You're not going to have to do that.
I've done everything I can. I think we're pretty good with it. I think I'll just send them on with my blessing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would make a point, too. You were saying about the AAA Plus. Well, you said you can go down and pick it up, but, if it breaks down at the college, how's your son going to get it home? See, so that's getting the tow to get the tow to get home, and then the car can be at the house and things like that. I think that's kind of your point on that.
That's why God invented Uber.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You gentlemen have a great morning.
We appreciate your call, Brad, very much. And so, by the way, you won the Motor Mouth Challenge, so stop by Continental Motor Works and pick up a premium.
Awesome, guys. You have a great day.
Thanks, Brad.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and you too. Have a good weekend. Great call from Brad.
Yeah. Well, that's typical. He gave me his son. I took my daughter. She was, she didn't drive until she was 21. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to drive because she was here going to local college. And
she could take public transportation.
And she take public transportation, and she was feeling real good about that.
It's great.
But, when she was going down to Los Angeles, school down there, she needed a car, so we got her a car. Mm-hmm. But the important thing is, I think, that as soon as you go someplace like that, you're going to be there for a while, a year or two, find out where the good shops are. Mm-hmm. So if you need something, you can take it to a shop that's not going to take advantage of you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we're going to keep the lines open on these questions. So, those of you that still want to mention what are the most common traffic violations and what is the difference between a traffic violation and a misdemeanor. We want to hear from you, or just call us about anything you want to call us about, anything about cars. Phone lines are open at 543-8830. We're going to go to our first break of the day. We're the Motor Mouse, Matt and Jeff. We're here till 9 a.m. Love for you to call us. We'll talk to you soon.
And I got a classic commercial here. This is from it's like a live spot in a TV show, I guess, in the 1950s, talking about the brand new line of Chevrolet cars.
No matter where you're going, getting there is a real treat when you drive Chevrolet, the best-looking, best-driving car on the road. Try a handsome new, gleaming new 9-passenger Beauville. For shopping, for hauling a full load of kids to a picnic, you name it, the Beauville fills the bill. Or step into a Bel Air Sport Coupe, long, low, distinctive, truly Chevrolet in design and performance. You'll like Chevy's Get Up and Go, as exciting to drive as it is appealing to the eye. And how easily the new Chevrolet handles a little lady, a big station wagon. How nicely it corners on a bumpy road. Driving cross town or cross country, you have the type of power and performance that set the 24-hour competition track record at Darlington, South Carolina. Power and performance that give you better, safer control in your kind of driving. So remember, your key to true driving pleasure is waiting for you at your Chevrolet dealers. Drop in tomorrow and let him show you how easy it is to own a beautiful new Chevrolet, the best-looking, best-driving car on the road.
When it's time to service your car,
Or a warning light is starting to glow.
go see the pros at Absolute Auto.
At the corner of Sacramento and Capitolio.
Having a problem with the brakes or the steering down below?
Or an alignment to adjust the tow.
Computer systems, they do know.
Call 543-8737 to reach Absolute Auto.
Here's some inside information to get your gas mileage back. Inside your engine, carbon builds up, clogging the injectors and combustion area. If you want your fuel system cleaned in just one tank of fuel, use what the inside car guys use most. It's called BG44K. In fact, service managers use it almost 3-to-1 over any other fuel system cleaner. To find a shop with BG products, go to bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
BG.
Hi, this is Jeff Spevack, Motormouth co-host and owner of Continental Motor Works. What can you expect here at Continental? We will treat you and your car with care and respect and gratitude. We will bend over backwards to earn your trust. You will fully understand what we are doing on your car and know how much it will cost before we do the work. You will always get value, a fair exchange. You work hard for your money. We believe we should work smarter and harder for what you pay us for. Now in our 36th year, we fix it all. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids.
Call Jeff at Continental Motor Works at 541-1464. Mention this ad and receive 10% off labor.
So we got car songs about, a lot of old cars. Don't we have any car songs like about Priuses?
Yeah.
My little Prius, you don't have to use gas.
I'll have to see if maybe I'll see if there's a song about a Prius here.
Or my electric Leaf. Yeah. I haven't heard any yet.
I'm going to have to check. I'll check.
Okay. We're the Motor Mouse, Matt and Jeff. We're here till 9 a.m. talking with you about your car. We're a live call-in car talk show. We had Brad call, a great call, talking about some of the questions we have on the show and also talking about sending his son to college in a certain car, and should he? And it sounds like they've taken good care of the car. And we gave him the Motor Mouth thumbs up.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we gave him the mouths up.
Mouths up.
Yeah.
The upper lip curled up.
So phone lines are open at 543-8830. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a car question, car problem, pat on the back for a local automotive-related business, you want to brag about your car or talk about your car, you're not sure about your car, or you want to weigh in on some of the questions we're asking, like what are the top traffic violations that are out there, and we'll put another 5 minutes on that. You can win them a prize at Continental Motorworks if you call in about that. So it was getting into a little bit about buying a used car and the top value in doing that, and that's in the most depreciation happens in the first 2 years. So if you do buy let's say a 2-year-old car, you probably get it for at least 25% less than list, probably even more, I think.
What about 3-year-old?
Well, I mean, it estimates that a 3-year depreciation cost on average could be, they say, about $2,500 a year on a $27,000 car. Okay, so after the first year it's 20%, and then 10% after that.
10%.
So you can end up getting about $10,000 off. Probably after about 3 years, which is pretty good. So if you got a $24,000 car and you can get that car for like 14. After 3 years.
The reason I'm asking because I got a leased car.
Yeah.
And so after 3 years, I have the option either to buy it or to turn it in.
Yeah.
And the question is, what am I going to?
You still like that car?
It's okay. Yes.
What do you think you're going to do?
I don't know.
Okay.
If they come out with a partly self-driving car, I'll buy that.
Wow.
And I don't know. I'm coming up for a driver's license here so pretty soon, I guess. So I shouldn't have any problems passing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want a plug-in car. It really works good.
Yeah.
They if
saves you a lot of gas, and you're using you're being a green car owner.
Around town. That's all I only use electric.
Yep, you're on electric.
You can go all the way on town here, no problem.
And now the range on those cars is more.
Yeah, well,
I know you have like 20 miles, right?
Yeah, I got 20 miles.
But you can get almost up to 40, I believe.
Well, I would like to have more. I think I would like 40 is not that bad.
Either that, or you can buy the there's a couple of other cars that are either fully electric or electric with a 200-mile range.
Well, I don't want that because if you're going to go someplace,
you want to be able to travel.
You want to be able to travel.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I agree.
I got a friend that's got the Ford Fusion, and of course that's a hybrid.
Yeah,
and drives it to Arizona and back all the time, and it's great. It's a fairly comfortable car.
Yeah,
and
the Fusions are really comfortable. They have great seats.
Yeah, they're great seats. It's got it's got that braking technology too. If somebody's in front of you, they pull in front of you, it slows
automatically slows the car down.
Yeah, and I think about 40 to 50 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
and when you're going to, I'm trying to think of that. There's a lot of areas where the electric engine kicks in because you're going downhill. You're not using the gas at all. So I think it's a great. The Ford Fusion is
and there's
good
lots
car.
more options out there. You have lots of choices. Whether it be a Ford or a Toyota or a Chevy or a Tesla, or there's lots of different choices out there.
Yeah, so it depends on what I want to do. It depends on how much my car is supposed to be worth after 3 years.
Sure.
If it's a reasonable price, then I might just buy it and keep it. But then I might see what the market bears for the next year cars.
The only thing that I kind of don't like about the Fusion is if you're there's quite a bit of space in the car for people. So it's an okay traveling car if you're one or two people, but for a family, maybe not, because you can't. There's not a whole lot of space in the trunk because that's where the batteries are. So that would be the one drawback about the Ford Fusion for traveling. For being around here, it'd be it's great, but it is a good traveling car if you're only one or two people. You can put the
doesn't have that much storage room,
right? And you can put your seat. You can put your suitcase in the back seat.
The only thing I can say in my car is that I don't like is the steering. the steering is electric.
Yeah.
And it's too sensitive.
It is weird.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You cannot
it's an acquired skill.
Yeah. Well, even if it's acquired, I mean, it's very difficult to take your eyes off the road for a minute, or not a minute, but a second.
It's a little too reactive.
Too reactive.
Too sensitive.
Too reactive, yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. So anyway, but talk about driving an electric car and going back and forth to Santa Maria, just south of Arroyo Grande. Now they have put up a couple of road signs, 55 red road signs, speed limits,
construction areas,
55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Well, so then you come driving at 70, let's say, or most people drive at 70 on the freeway now. Mm-hmm. They don't slow down for the 55.
Yeah.
And I've been going through that now a couple of weeks, and I never seen a policeman around.
Yeah. Even when workers are present?
Well, of course, when if they're actually doing some road work,
do you think people slow
then
down?
the traffic is down 20 miles an hour or 15 miles an hour because they turn it into a one-lane road. But now there's nothing going on next to the road.
Yeah.
But it's the red signs, 55 miles an hour, is still sitting up.
Right.
And so, I mean, if they are not going
I guess what I was wondering is if there is workers there, even if they haven't taken it down to one lane, do people slow down?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I noticed the same thing that Matt noticed, that maybe possibly the other day, because I live in Arroyo Grande too, but when I came back into Arroyo Grande on Tuesday night, they're working on the bridges out there by Traffic Way.
Yeah.
And so they've got these orange signs up, and they're getting it, and they're working it in the evening and at night. So they got the orange flashing signs up and everything. And, I had pulled over because the lane was narrowing, to get into I had to get into the other lane. And this guy tried to come around me, and it's very apparent that they're narrowing the lane. It's very apparent that they're narrowing, and I just don't think people pay attention to it.
Well,
really.
the signing is terrible. I mean, the signing is very good.
Yeah, the signing is really good.
I mean, they're signing way, way back.
I like those signs, where they have the sign says, okay, speed limit 55, your speed 65.
Yeah, right.
I like it when they pick that up. I think people will react to that a little bit more.
That probably,
so, I mean, obviously people would react to even more if they got a traffic citation.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about. So going into so I'm going to answer the questions now since nobody else other than Brad weighed in on it. So the top 3 traffic violations are speeding, as Brad said. The second one is running a stop sign or a red light. That's the second most common.
Oh, okay.
The third one is unsafe lane changes. Fourth one is tailgating.
Yeah, that's what I would thought would have been second.
Yeah.
Tailgating.
Well, I see it a lot, but I don't see them enforcing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
But these are the top violations according to some of the websites I went on. Now, an infraction or a traffic in violation is all the things that we just mentioned. Yeah. It turns into a misdemeanor when either, of course, driving under the influence, driving without a license, or in the judgment of the officer, either excessive speeding or reckless driving could become a misdemeanor instead of just a violation. So, like if you're driving over 100 miles an hour, or in some states, if you're driving over 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, which I see happening all the time here. So it's interesting.
What about texting?
Texting?
I saw
they didn't mention it in this article, but I think that's going to be a violation. I don't think that's not going to be a misdemeanor. Yeah, it should be. You'd think so. Yeah. Well, I don't know how often it's enforced, though.
Well, the problem is too that would
be distraction.
Yeah, it all needs to be all distractions, because I did yesterday. I got behind somebody. Actually, this was like one right after the other. Somebody texting on their phone or looking down at it. You can see that.
Yeah.
And then
I see it every day.
And then I got off the freeway at 4th Street in Pismo Beach, and I got behind a lady that was eating an ice cream cone, and the ice cream cone was more important than driving the car, because she's going off the off ramp at like 25, 30 miles an hour. So you come right behind her.
Yeah.
And then you look over when you're around the corner and she's struggling with an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
It's like,
I never struggle with an ice cream.
you know,
I don't struggle with it at all.
She had it up on the steering wheel.
I enjoy it.
She had it up on the steering wheel, and she was like looking. You know,
wow.
It was like, yeah. It was. I was like, really? I know everybody's laughing about an ice cream cone, but it was
no. You're right. It's distracting.
Was a dangerous situation.
Eating while driving is distracting.
Yeah. So I think all the distractions.
Eat the ice cream first,
right, and then drive the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there you go.
Looked like it was on a sugar cone. Must have been pretty good. But anyway.
There you go.
If it was a double, they fall in his lap, and then what?
That's right.
Then you can't concentrate on the driving.
So, so that was the distracted driving is certain. You know, I don't see as many people texting as I used to. I think the public awareness. The public awareness campaign, and also the threats of people, maybe enforcement or whatever, I think are working. So I mean, I still see people texting and looking down, but not everybody like I used to see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Brad from Napomo is back. Hi, Brad.
Hey, guys. Just listen to you. You were talking about tailgating, and you said you don't see it enforced much. The one thing that really gets me, and I don't know if it's lack of understanding what a sign is or if they're not teaching it or what. Have you been to a left turn at an intersection that says yield? You know, you got a green left turn arrow, and it says yield to oncoming traffic. And you have people that come up there and they'll turn left when it's green, but when the green light, the green arrow disappears and it's just a green light, they sit there because they assume they can't turn on a left without the arrow. It's just very infuriating.
Oh, I see. So you're saying that when someone's in the turn lane, they got the green arrow, they go, but then when it turns to green, they think they can't turn.
Well, you know,
the people that may be 2 or 3 behind them, once it goes to yellow and it goes to red, and it's simply a straight green, meaning you can go straight or you can turn left when traffic allows it. They sit there and they let it cycle through to red.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that don't understand a lot of things about driving and traffic. I mean, I see so much ignorance out there and so much lack of common sense. Like the other day, once again, I'm a big stickler for pedestrians and crosswalks. So up at Southwood and Laurel Lane, there's 3 kids coming home from school in the crosswalk, and this guy comes right up, next to him. And as soon as they go past, he goes within 3 feet of them. I mean, it was unbelievable. People don't have common sense. No, that wasn't the yellow one. Okay. That was the one at Southwood, which is white. So he was within the law in his judgment. If I was a cop, I would have given him a ticket.
Well, and you look at what's your average vehicle weigh today and what's an average body weigh. I mean, what's coming out on the high end on that. It would be terrible to hit someone from being negligent or being an idiot. Mm-hmm. But how would you like to live with that for the rest of your life? I mean, there's just no way that would happen with me.
Exactly. Right.
Another thing is school zone. Let's talk about school zone. It's not on Lassos. I mean, on Lassos Valley Road.
Yeah, right.
You
at
got
the
high school there. The people coming from Lassos.
Yeah, that's a rough one because people are going fast, and then they're supposed to go down to 25 miles an hour, right? Yeah.
But they don't slow down before they get to the traffic light across where the school walk is.
Right.
And so the kids that are coming down from Perfuma Canyon Road
Once again, people being in a hurry and being idiots. No. When you're in a hurry, you're not in your right mind.
No.
Brad, you still there?
I got a speeding ticket several years ago. I went to traffic school. Yeah. It was one of those comedy traffic schools that they tried to make it light so that you halfway enjoyed yourself while you're bored for 8 hours. Uh-huh. And the person who was teaching the traffic school gave me very, very good advice, and I've held it to this day. Mm-hmm. School zone when children are present. When are children present? 24 hours a day. If you look at it that way, you'll never have an issue.
Right. Just I mean, it's not how much time does it take you more? 1 minute?
Yeah.
Probably not even 1 minute.
No.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, when you look at it that way.
I agree with Dave.
Hey, thanks, Brad.
Take a breath.
Appreciate your calls, Brad. Thanks a lot.
I think you have to remember, too, lots of schools are in residential neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So there's going to be kids present all the time.
Yeah. Let's talk to Dave in SLO. Hi, Dave.
Hey, good morning. I just have a comment. This is meant to be with a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was younger, and my dad and his friends, we lived in a small town, but they would, when they went to the city, there was a lot of tailgating and people crowding, and so they used something they called EDP. I don't know if you've heard of that.
EDP.
EDP. Yeah. So they would. Back in the day when they had maps instead of phones, I guess you could use your phone. You would grab the map and sort of put it in front of you. I'm not recommending this, of course, but then you would start driving slightly erratic. That was the erratic driving procedure.
Oh, so erratic driving procedure. Okay.
You would stay within your lane and kind of tap your brakes, but just move a little bit. And then
you're making people think that you're going to be really unpredictable, and they move away from you.
Exactly. You create a lot of space.
I'm crazy.
I think people
move
do
away
it
from me.
unintentionally these days with their phones, but
well, they use the common signal for telling people to back off is to tap your brake lights a couple times.
Yeah. And people are pretty good about that. I can't stand tailgating, and usually, but I often will whenever it's safe. I have a pull out. I'll just pull over and let them go.
And I think these days, with maybe the amount of crazy people out there, I go both ways. Sometimes someone's tailgating me, and I don't do anything. I just drive the speed limit. And if I'm on the freeway, I'll pull over. I mean, because if I'm on the left lane, and even if I'm driving, so if you're in the passing lane and the speed limit is 65, and you're doing 75, and they're still tailgating you,
Yeah.
But you're still supposed to move over because they might have to be somewhere.
Well, then all the thing, too, you're driving the right lane, and you got a truck in front of you driving much slower than you, or speed limit, or 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy coming up behind you, and he's driving speed, and it's on speed control. But he doesn't speed up to get by you, so past the other vehicles.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's wrong. People do not speed up anymore to pass somebody. And there used to be.
So they end up being alongside of you for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And holding up traffic behind them.
Well, Brad, Dave, I've never heard the EDP one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't recommend it, but it was effective back in the day. All right. Thanks for another great show, guys.
Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. Have a good one. All right. Dave brings up the EDP, erratic driving procedure, to get people to stop tailgating you. I don't know whether that works or not, but it's an interesting idea.
I think that's the one where you get pulled over.
Yeah. And do we have another call?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
It was just about another KVEC issue.
I think we got to go to our second break of the day.
I think we should too.
Okay, so we're the Motor Mouse. We're Matt and Jeff. We are here till 9 a.m. to talk with you about your car. We are a live call-in car talk show. Love for you to call us at 543-8830. We'll talk to you in a few.
Classic commercial here. If you have one of these cars right now, really they're collector's items. It's for the 57 Chevy.
$275,000 in prizes. 57 big winners. In Chevrolet's Great Lucky Traveler Contest. To the 4 top winners, $25,000 in cash and a new 57 Chevrolet passenger car, any model at all, and 53 additional prizes of new Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door sedans, plus $500 in cash with each car. To enter this easy contest, visit your Chevrolet dealer now for your free entry blank. Name the 4 well-known vacation spots shown here and finish a simple jingle. There's no cost or obligation. Now, if you buy a new Chevy during our contest and become a winner, you may choose either the prize car or the equivalent in cash. Contest closes April 15th, so enter now at your Chevrolet dealer.
When it's time to service your car,
or a warning light is starting to glow,
go see the pros at Absolute Auto.
At the corner of Sacramento and Capitolio.
Having a problem with the brakes or the steering down below?
Or an alignment to adjust the tow?
Computer systems, they do know.
Call 543-8737 to reach Absolute Auto.
Your car's fuel economy was never better than when it was new. But time and miles have robbed your car of its MPG and performance. Service managers recommend BG44K to remove carbon and restore mileage in just one tank of fuel. In fact, dealerships nationwide use BG44K almost 3-to-1 over any other product. To find a shop with BG products, go to bgfindashop.com.
BG. Can you imagine selling your car next week and saying to the buyer, hey, don't worry, because the engine is covered against failure for life. It's called the Lifetime Protection Plan for the Engine from BG Products. Now imagine having this huge benefit free with your next oil service when you remember these two letters, BG. BGMOA is available at over 20,000 shops nationwide. Find yours at bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com. BG.
Hi, this is Jeff Spevack, Motormouth co-host and owner of Continental Motorworks. What can you expect here at Continental? We will treat you and your car with care and respect and gratitude. We will bend over backwards to earn your trust. You will fully understand what we are doing on your car and know how much it will cost before we do the work. You will always get value, a fair exchange. You work hard for your money. We believe we should work smarter and harder for what you pay us for. Now in our 36th year, we fix it all. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids.
Call Jeff at Continental Motorworks at 541-1464. Mention this ad and receive 10% off labor.
Hey, so we see, ask and you shall receive.
Yes, exactly.
I asked for a Prius song. I said, well, how come all these car songs are back from the 50s and or the 60s? And so we got a Prius song.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Probably more of them out there.
The video, they just showed her rolling right by a Shell station. Just kept going.
She's driving by the gas station. Yeah. There you go.
Nothing against Shell. They're a great dealer, but... Yeah.
I don't need it, huh?
All right. Hey, we're here for about 12 more minutes, so you can reach us at 543-8830. We're Matt and Jeff. We're the Motor Mouths. We're talking about cars and anything related to driving in cars that you would like to talk about or ask us about, or what would you like us to talk about in future shows. We want to hear all of that. 543-8830. We are, I went to a meeting this past week for the Laurel Lane Traffic Diet.
Oh, yeah.
So they're planning to restripe Laurel Lane down from 4 lanes to 2 lanes with a turning lane.
Yeah.
And a fatter bike lane and more parking. And we're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to talk to Bill from Los Osos. Hi, Bill.
Yeah, good morning. We were talking about people, traffic and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, we were coming back from San Luis out to Los Osos. And they're in the 4-lane area between, I guess, Madonna and where it goes down to 2 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pickup truck. And in that, 3 blocks, 4 blocks, he made 4 or 5 quick lane changes.
Matt was just talking about that. Yeah, and I bet he gained 30, maybe 20 seconds.
He didn't gain anything.
Didn't gain anything,
I
right?
bet you.
Did he gain anything, Bill?
Beg pardon?
Did he gain anything?
I didn't get a number. I didn't get anything. But anyway, I just to go on with it.
Yeah.
Time we got up to the signal of Foothill, he was 3 cars ahead of me.
3 cars ahead. Yeah.
Well, that just happened to me on the same road with a car. And after he came to the stoplight, he was next to me. So I rolled down the window and I looked over and I asked him, "Is that fun? Was that fun?"
I've always said we should, as a Motor Mouth experiment, we should take 2 drives. We should drive from San Luis to Santa Maria, and on one drive, just drive the speed limit and just obey everything. And then on the second drive like speed, okay? Drive fast. Go 15 miles over the speed limit. And then how much faster do you think you're going to get there?
You're going to you end up about 5 minutes.
Maybe 5 minutes, maybe. And then the other experiment would be go from one side of San Luis, like from the airport to LOVR and Foothill. Yeah. And drive totally, obey all traffic, everything, and then the other one drive like a bat out of you know what, and then see how much faster you get there. Once again, within 5 minutes, I'd say.
It'll be within 5 minutes. It
doesn't save you a whole heck of a lot, and you risk your life.
Yeah, but I mean, it was 4 or 5 lane changes. Zoom, 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 and here you are.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing that happened to me. I mean, it's ridiculous. And there was actually 3 lanes on the right-hand side, right where this is right where the shopping centers are.
Yeah.
And he was over in all 3 of those lanes.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite stories is I was on vacation in Arizona, coming back, and I was on Highway 58 at about Mojave out there, and coming back, and the guy, was passing everybody and getting over, and of course, in that area, there's a lot of overpasses where the highway patrol like to sit on the on-ramp and watch people come by because it is really straight, and people do that. So the guy was like, passing everybody and, doing 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour anyway. So, and I was one of the guys that he passed. So I come across, and of course there he is sitting with the highway patrol behind him, pulled over, and I just honked and waved on the way back, on the way by, as I'm actually gaining on him now.
Exactly.
Doing the speed limit.
Yeah. Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got pulled over.
Got some justice.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice.
Anyway, I enjoy your show, and I listen almost every Saturday morning. Sometimes I miss, but anyway, this would just happen this week. So thanks again. I enjoy your program.
Good to hear from you, Bill.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Nice.
All right. So today we've heard from Brad and Dave and Bill. We probably have time for one more call. Please call us 543-8830. So we've talked a little bit about traffic citations, violations, misdemeanors. We talked a little bit about car buying tips, so they're talking about, Laurel Lane. It's interesting, the intersection at Southwood. So Laurel Lane and Southwood has been identified as a high accident incidence, like the second highest in the whole city, right there. So pedestrians have been hit, cars have been hit. And so that's part of what makes this change happen. Right. And also because they're going to be resurfacing the road. They have it scheduled, so they thought at that time it's a good time to do it. But let's talk to Susan from Atascadero. Hi, Susan.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're great. How are you? Thanks for calling.
Thank you. I'm doing well. Well, I have a question that might be more extermination, but it is related to a car.
Sure.
I have mice building nests under the hood of my car and eating through the insulation.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? Some people have said mothballs. Some people have said dryer sheets.
Okay, so the first thing is to try to park your car somewhere else or try to safeguard the area around your car. So I'm assuming that you live a little bit rurally, right?
Yes, between Atascadero and Morro Bay.
And that you park outside?
Yes, have to.
Okay, so there's a couple things that you can do. You can safeguard. You could actually make a parking place like with some sort of a barrier around it that would be that you could actually spray with pepper spray or something like that to try to actually keep them from actually coming around your car. So you could, paint a little section that you make your parking space and then put something around there. You might research it online to see what people have done. But I've had people put different noise makers and things like that. But also I have a woman and she just has a spray bottle that she puts cayenne pepper in it. And every day she just sprays that barrier. So it's fresh. And so that's one thing. And then you can that's actually been the best thing is you can spray your whole engine compartment with this cayenne spray, okay. And you can you can get, people have used mothballs, people have used Irish Spring soap, people have used, there's a noisemaker that you can buy. So if you have electricity close by, you can go to Farm Supply and buy this white noise thing, which you can't hear, but it keeps them away, and you can park that right near that space for where your car is.
There's some ideas. Have you ever heard of something called Cap Fresh?
Yeah. Pardon me?
Cap Fresh. Have you ever heard of that?
No. What is it?
Well, I'm not sure. My mechanic said to try it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy it. You could also get a cat.
Yeah, that helps. Now,
yeah.
Well, there's coyotes around, so I don't really want to feed the coyotes.
Okay.
You know those little pieces of paper you put in a dryer to make the car smell?
You can stuff those different places. Yeah. But I think the most effective has been that cayenne spray. Yeah. We have to cut you off now, but hope that helped. Let's go very quickly to Jeff in Morro Bay. Hi, Jeff.
Yeah, hi there.
How's it going?
My question is a 93 Buick.
Mm-hmm.
The brakes are failing, and I took the rear drums and the drums off, and the shoes are all good. Everything was good in the back. And
when you say the brakes are failing, what do you mean?
Yeah, you step on the brake pedal, goes all the way to the floor.
Okay, that's your master cylinder.
Needs a brake master cylinder.
Needs a new master cylinder. Don't buy a rebuilt one. They don't work. Buy a new master cylinder.
The master cylinder or the brake thing stays full of fluid.
Has nothing to do with it. There's a bypass in the piston inside the master cylinder.
Get a new master cylinder.
Yeah, new master cylinder.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with the front brakes
or
the anti-lock system?
No.
No,
get a brake master cylinder. That's the first thing.
And but it has the brake assist vacuum, I guess it is.
Well, if your pedal sinks to the floor, buy a brake master cylinder.
It's a bypass.
Okay.
Brand new. Yeah.
It's a bypass of the piston. As you step on it, if you step on it very softly, it'll go to the floor. If you step on it hard, it might stop. And this happens more in the morning.
Well, I can try that.
Well, no, don't drive. Don't use that to drive because you're gonna have unsafe brakes. Get a brake master cylinder.
You say there's a check valve or something in the master cylinder that
No,
is
it's
bypassed.
not a check valve. It is a piston.
Yeah.
You're pushing a piston down, same kind of piston as you have in an engine.
Right. I understand that.
Blow by.
And you say it's going past the piston.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Jeff, we're going to have to cut you off now. Sorry.
It's being driven past the piston
by your foot.
Vacuum.
Okay.
By your foot.
Hey, we're going to close the show out now. Sorry.
Call me back.
Jeff, call us back next week and we can talk a little bit more about it. Be glad to. But that's a classic brake master cylinder failure. Hey, we want to thank our callers, Brad and Dave and Bill and Susan and Jeff, for making this show more interesting. We want to thank our sponsors for paying the freight. We have BG Products, a longtime sponsor. You can look them up at bgfindashop.com, featuring great products like fuel cleaners, 44K, and synthetic transmission fluids and gear oils. Absolute Auto at the corner of Capitolio in Sacramento. Go see Jason in Charlotte for excellent local automotive repair and service and alignments. And Continental Motor Works, we're open 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. You can reach us at 541-1464. And Bike Slow County, in advocating for safe transportation around our county. You can go on the website and you can become a member and choose to support Bike Slow County, which I do also. Well, have a great week. It's a gorgeous day out there, so enjoy it. Take the Motormouth Challenge all weekend. Leave early and drive the speed limit and just enjoy the drive. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a nice day.